Good evening, one and all. Funny story. So, I gave blood today to the Red Cross. Upon entering, I had a snack. I waited patiently to be checked in. And then they gave me a nurse or whoever. They called an interview. Sorry, it wasn't blood, it was plasma. They called an interview. So there was I could clearly see she was Asian of origin. And sit down, said a few questions. I was like, where do you come from? It's something I like to guess. It's just what I do. And then generally I want to talk about food, which I did. However, the story gets interesting. So I ran off. I was like, well, you're not Chinese. You're like, I ran off a whole bunch of Asian countries. I was like, you're not going to tell me, are you? I said, I actually don't want you to. Like, I want to figure this out. Challenge accepted. And she was a bit stiff, but anyway, I thought I'll warm her up. And then finally I said, Philippines. She goes, you got it. I was like, yes, got it. This is even after pulling up the phone. I was just like, hey Google, show me a list of all Asian countries. And Saudi Arabia was in there. Anyway, I gave plasma. That took about 45 minutes to an hour. And then I noticed this one particular girl. I couldn't figure out if she was a bitch or she just didn't like me. Either way. And I noticed something was off. So after I gave blood, the one that was walking around, that gave off a real bitch vibe, she did right from the beginning anyway, she goes, can I have a word to you? I was like, okay. So we went into the same room, and she goes, so there's been a complaint put in against you. I said, really? What's that? And she goes, you know what you did? I was like, no, I don't. And she goes, you know what you did? And I said, no, I don't. And I was like, tell me what I did. She refused. She goes, you know what you did? That's what she just kept saying. So I asked her, I don't know, probably 5 times. She informed me that I was banned from that particular facility. And I could go to other facilities, but I couldn't go there because of my racist remarks. I was confused because we have a Filipino in the family. My brother is Maori. In the mornings, I generally sit out with the Lebanese and have coffee. I'm even going through the Quran. It's an interesting book. So, as I'm walking out, I was like, oh, fuck this. And, she said I was allowed to have a snack before I leave. Just being nice. As I'm walking out, another nurse, or whatever they are, followed me out. Got to the front. He's walking beside me, acting all tough. I love a good tough cunt. And he goes, so what did you say? And I was thinking, bro, fair enough. If someone said to me that one of my work colleagues, some dude said a racial remark, 100%, that's exactly what I'd do. And he goes, so what did you talk about? He was very calm. And, slightly aggressive, but calmly spoken. And I said to him, well, he goes, you asked about a passport and all this sort of shit. I was like, no. I said, you need to put everything into context. He goes, well, what did you say then? I said, you were gonna, no, what is that? He said, you told her that you were going to go to an anti-immigration rally, which, if I wanted to, fair enough. Entitled within my rights. I think they're silly, but it's your right as a citizen. You're entitled to your opinion, even if you are a fuckhead. And I said to him, well, said this and this. And he goes, you kept on asking where she comes from. I was like, well, no, it was like a game. And then when I eventually found out, I said, do you have your Australian passport yet? She said, no. I said, are you going for it? She goes, I'm not sure what she said. I said, I don't know, or yes, I can't remember. I was a bit left out. And I said, because when you do, because I'm a New Zealand citizen, living in Australia, so I'm an immigrant, yeah? An immigrant. I said, when you do, you can go up to people like me, on Australia Day and say, get out of my country. Go up to people like me and say, get out of my country. This guy, he goes, couldn't you feel the room? I was like, I don't give a fuck about your feelings. Like, she didn't say stop. Like, she just sat there and listened. I couldn't figure out if she was a bit of a cold fish or whatever, because that is funny. I'm making fun of me. No one else, me. And then I said to him, what don't you understand, you dumb cunt? Seriously, are you that stupid that you didn't hear every word? He goes, so what'd you say? And I said, I've told you. He goes, no, tell me what you said. And I said to him, I can't argue with stupid because then that makes me stupid. And clearly you're a dumb cunt. Like, full dumb cunt. So I can't spend any more time having this conversation because you're a fuckwit and a dumb cunt. So I'm going to go and you have a wonderful day. As I'm walking off, he was raising his voice. So I was annoyed at that because I don't like woke culture. I think it's fucking gross and disgusting. So since I was banned from Brunswick and Victoria, Melbourne, Australia, to give blood, that I gave up my own time, part of my body to try and help save someone else's life, maybe. It was plasma. I think it's used in cancer. I called up the Red Cross, launched an official complaint, and he heard every word I said. He paused, and I said, when I told him the story, I said, listen closely, mate. I said this, I'm making fun of me, not her, me. And he agreed. And I said, that word racist, that sticks, eh? I will not be called a racist. His behaviour was disgusting. She's clearly a very sensitive girl, and she's stupid. One of these easily offended cunts. And it's very appropriate to call her a cunt. And either she's fucked in the head, which she clearly is, or just loves being angry. We all like being angry sometimes, I get it. I try and stay calm. So, official complaint sent. I told them the entire story while it was recorded. So, their staff, HR, whatever, can go over it. And right at the end of the phone call, because it's funny, I said, I just want to say, mate, thanks for not being a retard. Like, it's appreciated. He paused. I might add, retard means held back, gay means happy, and faggot means a bunch of sticks. I've also got gay mates. So, yeah, be interesting to hear back from them. What I'm going to ask for is, I don't want her to be sacked, but I would like a written letter of apology. She's going to lie. I imagine it's going to stick because it's her word against mine. However, the behaviour of the chap going outside probably wasn't the smartest because there's cameras everywhere. I'm not going to inform them of that until they come back with a "this didn't happen." And he can answer for himself there. And I want retraining for her. She doesn't need to lose her job. She needs to learn to be a grown-up. And I don't know what you'd say about that, mate. The other guy. But interesting day. Spent 45 minutes to an hour giving plasma. And I was called a racist. And I'm an immigrant. Don't even have a passport. I'm a Kiwi. See what happens next, yeah? Good afternoon, motherfuckers.